Welcome to part 51 of the Unsolved Mysteries Iceberg Explained, where we explore urban legends, crime, mysterious disappearances, myths and legends, internet mysteries, and more. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that notification bell. The Unsolved Galley. The Unsolved Galley set sail from Dublin in 1695, under the command of Captain Massey, on a trading mission to the Levant, carrying grain and other agricultural provisions. However, it did not return as expected, leading to widespread belief that it had been lost at sea. Surprisingly, in 1700, the Unsolved Galley reappeared in Dublin, laden with valuable cargo, including spices and other exotic goods, causing much astonishment. Upon its unexpected return, Captain Massey claimed that the ship had been captured by Barbary corsairs and that the crew had been held captive in North Africa. During their captivity, they were forced to operate the ship for the pirates, who used it to conduct their raids. The crew reportedly managed to retake the ship during a moment of inattention by their captors, and navigated back to Dublin with the pirates' plunder still aboard. However, this account was met with a great deal of skepticism. Many in Dublin speculated that the Unsolved Galley's voyage might not have been as innocent as it seemed. Rumors circulated that the crew themselves might have engaged in piracy during their absence, using the galley itself and without having been captured. This theory gained traction because the ship returned not only with its original cargo, but also with additional goods that suggested involvement in piratical activities. The ship was laden with stolen goods, which, according to the official story, were goods taken by the sailors while being forced to work for the Barbary corsairs. Further, there was also skepticism that the entirety of the Unsolved Galley's crew was able to escape North African captivity. The ownership of the valuable cargo aboard the Unsolved Galley became a contentious issue. The ship and its contents had been insured, and when the ship was declared lost, the insurers compensated the ship's owners. Upon the ship's return, both the original owners and the insurers laid claim to the newfound wealth, leading to a complex legal battle. The situation was further complicated by the crew's claims to a share of the booty, having risked their lives to reclaim the ship. To resolve this dispute, a group of Dublin merchants formed an arbitration body, later known as the Unsolved Galley Society. This society decided that the pirate booty should be sold, and after paying off the ship's owners and the relevant insurers, the remainder became a fund for downtrodden merchants of Dublin. The arbitration body became a permanent institution, known for settling commercial disputes and contributing to charitable causes in the city. The Unsolved Galley Society continued to play a significant role in Dublin's commercial life until it was dissolved in 1888. The society was revived in 1988 during Dublin's Millennium celebrations, this time as a charitable organization only. It's unlikely that we will ever know the truth of what happened to the sailors during their disappearance, but one thing does remain certain: piracy was involved. Also, this was a recommendation by Lauren Redmond. Thank you so much, Lauren, for this obscure oceanic suggestion. The Gulf Breeze UFO Incident. This incident began on November 11, 1987, when Ed Walters, a local contractor, claimed to have seen and photographed a UFO. Walters reported seeing a blue, disc-shaped craft hovering above the trees near his home. He took several Polaroid photos of the object, which he initially submitted anonymously to the Gulf Breeze Sentinel under the pseudonym Mr. X. The Gulf Breeze Sentinel continued to publish these reports, increasing public interest and debate. Numerous residents corroborated Walters' claims, providing their own accounts of strange sightings. For instance, a married couple, Art and Mary Hufford, reported seeing a gray oval object flying silently over the treetops. Another resident, Jeff Thompson, and his son claimed to have seen a craft near their home, which emitted a white light and dissipated upon approach. Such reports added credibility to Walter's initial claims, suggesting a broader phenomenon beyond a single individual's experiences. The Mutual UFO Network, better known as MUFON, conducted investigations, with some members, such as Dr. Bruce Maccabee, confirming the authenticity of Walter's photos. Maccabee, an optical physicist, argued that the images provided compelling evidence of unexplained aerial phenomena. Despite the support from some UFO researchers, significant skepticism surrounded the Gulf Breeze sightings. Critics pointed to apparent inconsistencies in the photographs. Further, they pointed to Walter's background, which included a significant reputation as a local prankster. The controversy deepened in 1990 when a model resembling the UFO in Walter's photos was discovered in the attic of his former home. This discovery led many to accuse Walters of orchestrating a hoax. Walters denied any knowledge of the model, claiming it was planted to discredit him. Further doubts arose from technical analyses of the photographs. Some experts suggested that Walters might have used double exposure techniques to create the images. The Gulf Breeze UFO incident remains a topic of debate and speculation amongst both believers and detractors. Supporters argue that the volume and consistency of eyewitness reports suggest genuine, unexplained phenomena. They cite the psychological and polygraph tests that Walters passed as evidence of his sincerity. However, detractors argue that it is possible to pass a polygraph test in numerous ways, including actually believing your own hoax is valid. Supporters also cite the increase in reported sightings during the period to add weight to the argument that something extraordinary occurred. However, skeptics discredit the related sightings around the same time and instead see this as indicative of a mass hysteria event. During a mass hysteria event, unrelated or otherwise normal aerial phenomenon may be reinterpreted through the lens of a recent sighting, leading to more sightings than usual. Further yet, skeptics view the incident as a classic example of a well-executed hoax. They point to the model found in Walter's attic, his financial gain from book deals, and the technical flaws in his photographs as strong indicators that something isn't right. The Loretto Chapel Staircase. This case is a suggestion by Discord member and patron Monoxide Wendigo. The Loretto Chapel in Santa Fe, New Mexico is renowned for its spiral staircase. The chapel itself was commissioned by Archbishop Jean-Baptiste Lamy and constructed between 1873 and 1878 by French architect Projectus Mouly. Its design was inspired by the French chapels in Paris and features Gothic elements like spires and buttresses. However, while the building is clearly quite beautiful, it is the spiral staircase that draws the most intrigue in visitors today. The staircase, rising 20 feet to the choir loft, was built without a central support or nails, using only wooden pegs and glue. It completes two 360-degree turns and is considered an engineering marvel for its time. According to legend, after the chapel was nearly completed, the nuns realized there was no way to access the choir loft. Several carpenters were consulted, but all advised against a traditional staircase due to space constraints, suggesting instead a ladder. According to the legend, in response, the nuns prayed to the patron saint of carpenters. On the final day, a mysterious man appeared with a toolbox and a donkey, offering to build the staircase. He worked in seclusion and completed the structure, then vanished without seeking payment or recognition. This led the nuns to believe that the carpenter was the saint himself, sent in response to their prayers. The staircase's construction defies traditional architectural norms. It lacks the central pole typically used in spiral staircases, instead relying on a unique helical structure supported by tightly wound inner stringers. This design has baffled engineers and architects for decades, with some suggesting that the overlapping wood segments, joined by wood glue, create a laminate that provides strength. Initially, the staircase had no handrails, making it quite daunting and perhaps even dangerous to use. These were added later, in 1887, by another craftsman named Philip August Hesch, along with an iron support bracket to enhance stability. Despite these modifications, users of the staircase have noted a certain springiness, a testament to its unusual design. The identity of the mysterious carpenter has been a subject of much speculation. In the early 2000s, amateur historian Mary Jean Cook proposed that François-Jean Rochas, a French carpenter known in Santa Fe, was the likely builder. Evidence supporting this includes a payment record to this carpenter for some sort of carpentry work on the chapel, and a newspaper article mentioning his expertise in woodwork. However, this theory remains debated, as definitive proof linking François-Jean Rochas to the staircase is lacking. The type of wood used in the staircase also adds to the mystery. Some reports suggest it is made of a type of spruce not native to the region, raising questions about how the wood was sourced. This has led to further speculation about the staircase's origins and construction methods. The staircase, mostly closed to public use for preservation reasons, stands as a testament to the ingenuity of the unknown carpenter who constructed it. If you're enjoying my content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and the notification bell. Also, if you really want to take it to the next level, please consider signing up for a YouTube membership or a Patreon membership. You can support for as little as 99 cents a month. Benefits include access to exclusive videos from my early days as a YouTuber, shoutouts at certain tiers, and the satisfaction of helping keeping this channel running. The disappearance of Ada Constance Kent. This is a suggestion by Discord member and patron Boomslang. In the summer of 1939, Ada Constance Kent, a reclusive retired actress living in a small cottage in Whalebone Corner, Essex, in the UK, mysteriously disappeared. Kent, who was known for her reclusive lifestyle, was last seen in early March of that year. Her absence went unnoticed for several months until concerned friends reported her missing to the local authorities. Despite a thorough search, no clues were found regarding her whereabouts, and the cottage was left untouched in hopes of her return. Interestingly, a copy of Romeo and Juliet was noted to be resting on her chair near her fireplace. Keep this detail in mind as we go forward. In 1942, another friend went to visit her house in hopes of finding her, but found her house in good condition, with nothing amiss. 10 years later, in 1949, the case took a bizarre turn. It was noted that large sums of money had been deposited into her bank account, the last deposit being in September 1948. This prompted the bank to alert the police, leading them to revisit her cottage. Upon inspection, they made a shocking discovery. A fully clothed skeleton was found lying next to the bed, accompanied by an empty bottle labeled poison. Despite this discovery, the rest of the cottage appeared undisturbed, with Ada's belongings, including her jewelry and money, still in place. This discovery sparked a media frenzy, and Scotland Yard took over the investigation. The initial inquest ruled that the bones belonged to the 69-year-old actress. However, further analysis suggested the skeleton was much too large to be Ada's, and was almost certainly male. This left several unanswered questions. Just whose skeleton was it? Why was it placed there with a bottle marked poison? Who deposited money into Ada's bank account, and why? Adding to the mystery were reports from locals. Ada had occasionally disappeared for months, and had letters delivered via intermediaries, indicating she might have had connections or secrets unknown to the general public. Theories about Ada's disappearance abound. Some suggest she may have left voluntarily, living incognito for reasons unknown. Others speculate about potential foul play or a complex scheme involving other individuals. Also, I note that 10 years prior to the appearance of the skeleton with the bottle of poison, Romeo and Juliet had been found in her home. I question whether this male skeleton with a bottle of poison was an allusion to Romeo and Juliet, and whether this somehow is a key to cracking this nearly 80-year-old cold case. The Stone Labyrinths of Bolshoi Zayatsky Island. Bolshoi Zayatsky Island, part of the Solovetsky Archipelago in Russia's White Sea, is renowned for its ancient stone labyrinths. These labyrinths, numbering between 13 and 14, are stone structures constructed from local boulders set in intricate spiral patterns. The island also features over 850 heaps of boulders and other stone settings, including sun symbols with radial spokes. The labyrinths are believed to be around 2,500 years old, although some theories suggest they might date back to as late as the Middle Ages. These structures are heavily concentrated in a small area on the western part of the island. The smallest labyrinth is about 20 feet in diameter, while the largest spans up to 83 feet. Typically, each labyrinth has a single entrance and exit, often located on the southern side. The purpose of these labyrinths remains a subject of debate. One prominent theory is that they served as spiritual or ritualistic sites. Some researchers believe the labyrinths symbolized a boundary between the physical world and the underworld, aiding in rituals for guiding souls to the afterlife. This hypothesis is supported by the presence of bone fragments found in some of the boulder heaps, indicating possible connections to funerary practices. Another theory proposes that the labyrinths functioned as fish traps. Given their proximity to the sea and higher water levels thousands of years ago, it is plausible that fish could enter the labyrinths during high tides and become trapped. This would, of course, have the effect of making them much easier to catch. However, the presence of labyrinths further inland suggests alternative uses or symbolic meanings, rather than this pragmatic meaning. A more contemporary hypothesis suggests that the labyrinths might have been used as ancient calendars. The intricate spiral designs could represent the orbits of the sun and moon, providing a method for tracking celestial movements and timekeeping. The labyrinths on Bolshoi Zayatsky Island are part of a broader network of similar structures found across Europe. This widespread distribution indicates that the labyrinth symbol held significant cultural importance for ancient peoples. In various traditions, labyrinths are seen as metaphors for journeys, both physical and spiritual, symbolizing a path to self-discovery or enlightenment. However, my personal theory on this one is simple. These labyrinths housed a species of northern minotaur, which was subject to island dwarfism. What evidence do I have for this theory, you ask? Minotaurs are really cool, and further, insular dwarfism is a real and well-documented thing. So why not mini-tours? The slaying of Georgette Bauerdorf. Georgette Bauerdorf, a 20-year-old socialite, was found lifeless on October 12, 1944, in her West Hollywood apartment. Born to a wealthy oil magnate family, Georgette led a privileged life. She moved to Los Angeles to pursue her dreams in the film industry, working as a junior hostess at the Hollywood Canteen, a club for servicemen during World War II. On the evening of October 11, 1944, Georgette's last known activities involved leaving the Hollywood Canteen around 11:30 p.m. She was seen driving home in her Oldsmobile. Witnesses reported that she seemed in good spirits, looking forward to attending a party the next day. The following morning, her maid discovered her lifeless body in the bathtub. The initial investigation revealed several puzzling details. Georgette's car was missing but was later found abandoned miles away. Her purse, with a significant amount of cash, was untouched, ruling out robbery as a motive. The apartment showed no signs of forced entry, suggesting that Georgette either knew her assailant or had left the door unlocked. Further examination of the crime scene uncovered more clues. The light bulb above the apartment's entrance was unscrewed, a tactic often used by intruders to avoid detection. A lone fingerprint was found on the bulb, but it did not match anyone in law enforcement databases. Additionally, a pair of men's muddy footprints were discovered leading from the apartment to the street, indicating that someone had left in a hurry. Georgette's personal life became a focal point of the investigation. She was known for her kindness and generosity towards the servicemen she met at the Hollywood canteen. Some of these interactions were scrutinized to identify potential suspects. However, none of the servicemen interviewed provided substantial leads. One theory emerged involving a serviceman who had shown an unusual interest in Georgette. Witnesses recalled seeing him at the canteen on multiple occasions, attempting to get closer to her. Despite these accounts, the man's identity was never confirmed, and he remained a shadowy figure in the investigation. Another theory suggested that Georgette had a secret admirer who may have followed her home. This admirer might have taken advantage of her hospitality, leading to the tragic slaying. However, there was no concrete evidence to support this theory, leaving it as mere speculation. The authorities also explored the possibility of an ex-boyfriend being involved, as is typical during any investigation such as this. Georgette had ended a relationship shortly before her untimely end, and investigators considered the possibility of a crime of passion. Yet, the ex-boyfriend had a solid alibi, and no further evidence connected him to the crime. As the investigation continued, authorities faced mounting pressure to solve the case. Georgette's father offered a substantial reward for any information leading to the apprehension of the responsible party. Despite this, tips and leads grew cold, and the case gradually faded from public attention. Over the years, numerous theories and speculations have emerged, but none have led to a definitive conclusion. Dr. George Hodel, one of the leading suspects in the infamous Black Dahlia slaying, has been speculated to be involved in Georgette's slaying as well. However, this remains entirely speculative, as there is little to suggest the two slayings were related beyond location and age. The Bears Lake Mystery Walls. The Bears Lake Mystery Walls are located just outside Halifax, Canada, and were discovered publicly in 1990. In 1990, Jack McNabb brought attention to the site just as it was about to be cleared for the Byers Lake Business Park, which helped protect it. It features a 150-meter-long stone wall made from carefully stacked ironstone slabs without the use of mortar, and a 5-sided enclosure with similar construction. These structures, along with stone staircases and historic roads, are believed to date back over 200 years, placing their construction within decades of Halifax founding. The origins and purpose of the Byers Lake Mystery Walls remain speculative. Some theories suggest that they were part of a military training ground for the siege of the fortress of Louisbourg in 1758. Others propose that they might have been defensive structures to protect Halifax from potential French attacks. The area's harsh landscape, however, makes the agricultural theory less likely, as it is not conducive to farming or animal husbandry. Research efforts have been ongoing, but conclusive evidence remains elusive. Subsequent archaeological investigations have included test excavations and lichen analysis, the latter of which suggested that the stone slabs have not been disturbed since around 1798. Various artifacts have been found at the site, including glass, cans, and bullet casings, but these items do not provide clear answers about the original builders or their intentions. Some local legends even suggest connections to early Scottish settlers or voyages in search of the Holy Grail, though these are considered implausible. Make sure to check out the YouTube membership and Patreon, You can support my channel for as little as 99 cents a month. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't done so already. Shout out to my patrons Noah Schubert, Iced Mocha, Kurt the Squirt, Monoxide Wendigo, Jeffer Metcalf, Z Volts, Director Delta, Unknown Delusions, Faye, Jack Russell, Boomslang, Spookiest Becky, Vespertine, Metanova, and Blasphemous. Big shout out to YouTube member Jordan All. Until next time, stay safe and healthy. Peace out, everyone.